welcome to Kayla Talks. If you're on YouTube, don't look at my nails. And welcome to You, Me, and the Multiverse. If you're listening on my pod, I am so happy to be back. My hope and dream and prayer is that it's just going to be more consistent as time goes on. It's just like I had to move to a different country, and so there was just like a lot happening, but I am happy to be back in the States. Yes, I'm back in the States. And I'm happy to be here to talk to you guys about The Little Mermaid. I'm still working things out, so I genuinely don't know, like, there's like a combination of reasons, like the place with like the best sun, there wasn't enough internet. The place with the least echo, I couldn't get like my recording stuff into. So like just bear with me as we just figure out the process as we go along. But I'm so happy to be here today and to talk to you guys about The Little Mermaid. So here we go. Hey everyone, this is Editing Kayla popping in, just asking you guys to please like and subscribe to the channel if you love it, and please share with your friends. I totally forgot to say that. All right, I'm popping back out. Bye, guys. So, The Little Mermaid is a film about a mermaid fish. This is the live action version. Okay, so The Little Mermaid is a film about a mermaid fish named Ariel who unfortunately somehow managed to acquire the annoying human traits of being a rebellious teenager who makes terrible decisions. Wanting desperately to connect with the people who murdered her mother and destroys her home on a regular basis, Ariel becomes fascinated with the human world and decides she wants to go up there. After an argument with her father and near-death meet-cute experience with dimple-faced Prince Eric, Ariel decides to make a deal with her evil auntie. Through this journey, she learns about love, life, and the consequences of drastic decision making. And even though she keeps up her streak of doing such by, changing her species and immediately marrying Eric, all in all, it's one of the better Disney remakes, and I did not hate watching it. All right, y'all. So let's get into this. I overall, I liked the film. Some of the things that I really like I said, I got my little list. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anything, but I obviously know off top as well. But some of the things that I really liked was Halle Bailey, of course. I really liked Jonah Howard King. I really liked the music. I mean, Halle just has like an ethereal, beautiful, magnetic voice. So I really loved anytime her voice was on the song. I really loved it. Of course, I've seen some talk about the go to the bathrooms. I did not hate. So I get it. I get it. I get why Uncharted Waters is the song where everyone's like, you can go to the bathroom. I get it. But it is cute. It's cute. Jonah has a beautiful voice. He sounds great. You can tell that he's a singer. I think sometimes for musicals they cast actors who don't sing as much, and sometimes you can tell. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you can tell that he's a singer. And so he sounded pretty good. I really liked Sebastian and Scuttle. I don't love Aquafina as a person, but I did love the character. Um, and with that being said, I didn't love the accent choice with Sebastian, but you kind of get over it after a while. We'll get to that. I also enjoy Ursula. I've seen some people, heard some people say that they didn't. I did a lot actually. I didn't necessarily enjoy the look of Ursula, but I did enjoy Ursula. I enjoyed the other mermaids. I wish we could have seen more of them. And I really like the visuals too. I like the way people move through the water. I saw an interview where they said that they got like Alvin Ailey, which is a black professional dance company to come in and like do the choreography. You can tell. So I really liked that it felt like professional choreography. I think for me, Under the Sea was my favorite, just because it was colorful and beautiful. I know some people said that it's muted. It's not as muted as I thought it was going to be. And I really thought Under the Sea was really, really colorful and like really beautiful, and the choreography was great. And I liked the way things moved. I think when it came to King Triton, sometimes I didn't love it, but like how he moved underwater. But for the most part, I was fine with underwater visuals. It's not like the second Avatar movie level, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I think a big difference between the second Avatar and this movie is that this movie is made for kids. And kids are going to be a lot less picky than adults. And but I also really liked how Under the Sea looked. So that's just my personal opinion. Um, and yeah, those are some of the things that I like really, really loved. There are some things that I didn't like that I'm gonna make sure to come back to my list and we can check out. But overall, I those are the things that I really liked. Um, I the story is the story. What I think that they did really well with the live action, and I think they did something similar with Aladdin, is like they updated for modern times. Oh my god, there's something on my lip. They updated for modern times. So instead of like her going up there kind of over a boy, no, I have to say it too. I think it's important to say. I don't even remember ever. I know that I've seen the animated Little Mermaid. I know that. I don't remember it. I don't remember it at all. I have a napkin right here. But I don't remember it at all. Um, yeah. So if that helps any with my review, I don't remember it. I do remember. I do, I do remember like that. I think she like chooses to go up over this boy, whereas in the movie that's not the case at all. In the movie, she's really interested in just like the human world, which I think she's probably really interested because it's different from hers. We're all interested in things that are different from our own, That's why so many people are interested in travel and all these other things. So I think that that's totally okay. I think, you know, going into dangerous waters, risky being chased by sharks to get some artifacts is a little bit not smart. But she's also only supposed to be like, I don't know, they said a teenager. So I'm thinking like 17, 18. So, you know, teenagers make a lot of really, really, really bad decisions. So, there's that. Um, but she likes collecting artifacts, which I think is a really cool hobby. And so I, and then you have like on top of that the issues with her dad. So I thought that was a great justification for why she chooses to leave. She's really interested all on her own. Even when she sneaks on Eric's boat, it's not because of Eric. She runs into Eric, but it's really because she's interested in these people that are different from her. And you know how it is. The more harsh the rule is, the more likely people are to want to break it. So it's not super surprising that the more her dad pressed, the more she wanted to do it. So of course, after he, does what he does to her home, she ends up turning to Ursula. So I thought that was a great justification because girl, don't go nowhere because of no boy. Although after she beats and saves him, the whole song after that is centered around him. So, there's that. But I keep trying to think, it's a kids' movie. Although not necessarily the best message to be sending children. But, we here. We here. um, so yeah, I thought Hallie was great. I thought she was just wonderful. I loved her facial expressions. I just liked everything about her performance. I thought she was very much so grounded and in the character. So I really, really, really loved her. I also really loved Eric. I thought they gave him a lot as far as like a personality. I think sometimes the love interest doesn't always have a personality. They're just pretty, whether with kids movies, well, and that could be the prince or that could be the princess. But somebody don't got a personality. Sometimes both of them. So it was nice that he was more than just a cute dimpled face. It was really nice. And he had dreams and goals and ambitions, and a lot of what they wanted overlapped. They both wanted to explore the world, and they were both royalty. And so they wanted to break out of these duties that they had because they were of a royal bloodline. And so I thought that that was very cool how they made that like a point of connection for them. So they're not just like, oh, they're really cute and like they talk really nice. I'm just gonna like fall in love. It's not that. Like they actually do have a lot of things in common. Now, fall in love with someone who doesn't talk. Obviously, there are plenty of people in the world who don't talk, but they sign or something like that. In this case, this is a person who is only shaking their head yes or no. It is difficult to do in 3 days. And it's not like they're writing on anything or anything like that. So, there is that. Um, yeah, so there was no signing, there was no writing, there was just nodding. And so, you know, reducing the woman to a character who does not talk. But I do think that I did like that they found clever ways in the movie to have them communicate. I really liked how she told him her name, like using the stars, and then when he would say Aries and like her doing the thing with the lip, that was like cute. So I really kind of showed like her personality and their cuteness. So I do think they figured out ways like, okay, we kind of have to keep this plot, but how can we make it so that you can see her personality even when she like breaks the like artifact and shows him that there's something in the middle, when she uses the seashell to make noises, like really showing him that there's more to the stuff that he has, and that she has knowledge as well. So I did think that they found really cool ways to make them connect. I don't think a lot of that was in an animated film. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. But I do remember people who have the animated film like so heavy in their brain, or like, yeah, no, they made it where they connected like way more and it made way more sense. So just saying that, just in case. So yeah, I really like those elements, and I think a lot of it takes place underwater. I guess I could get into the criticisms now. I feel so fast, but a lot of it, I'll probably just bounce around. I try to keep the criticisms to the end, but there was one here that I wanted to kind of say. But uh, a lot of the movie takes place underwater, and I do feel like when they get on land, it feels like a fast moving train to me. Like it happens and then it's over so fast. Whereas I would have appreciated more time up there if I am to believe that by the end of this movie, this person is going to not only change their species, but choose to marry this person. So I thought that was a really fast moving train. When they found out that they were sea creatures, all of that was really fast moving. Shout out to the human version of Ursula. The girl gave camp, baby. Okay, her little scene where she's like laying on the couch and like talking and like singing. Woo! It was like she had like one or two scenes, and I was like, yes, baby. So shout out to her as well. But I think that a lot of that stuff moved really quickly. So I would have liked for that to slow down just so we could fully understand the spell she had him under and how he was able to come to but not, and there was a lot of things happening there that happened so fast that it was, and then like they had a beef with the sea gods, and like the mom was against him going helping her at first, and then like turned around like within like one scene. Shout out to his mom, a black queen. He like people that look like his mama. But I yeah, I thought that that stuff for me kind of moved too fast. But we were in like an over 2 hour movie. So, you know, they had to kind of power through some stuff. And I think that they wanted to put the focus on Ariel and her father a little bit more, which I don't mind. Um, I don't mind. But I would have liked a little bit more time with um, her and Eric. With that being said, we're gonna do a little switcheroo. So, as far as the supporting characters go, I pretty much loved all of them. I think Flounder kind of flounders in the second half of the movie, which, you know, I noticed but didn't, you know, just because, yeah, I, it wasn't really until after I was like, wow, Flounder, like, wasn't really in the second half. Like, um, but I thought Scuttle and Sebastian were very good. Um, I did not know my ringer was on with my phone, but I thought Scott and Sebastian were really good. I thought also shout out to who was that? Tamika, one of her sisters, gorgeous. Like what? What's her face? What was that? Yeah, that was crazy. Also, Simone Ashley was there, but she didn't really have any lines, which was also crazy. But yeah, so as far as supporting parts go, I really liked Sebastian and Scuttle. So, excuse me. I got acid reflux, y'all. So sometimes it's gonna happen. But anyway, so Sebastian, of course, you know, I don't know. It could have been a directing choice, could have been an acting choice. You know, with filmmaking, you never really know unless they tell you. But it seems like they were trying to go for a more neutral accent, not a Jamaican one. It sounded like they were doing like a neutral Caribbean accent because it didn't really. It sounded like everything, but it sounded like nothing. Like it definitely wasn't Jamaican. In fact, the girl who Ariel meets who helps dress her, that was another question I had through the whole movie too. Like, how did she get access to the prince so easily? She just washed up ashore and just boom had access to the prince. It wasn't like she had her siren voice. So also just thought that was not quick. I get it to an extent because I think something happens in the movie where the woman helping her get dressed thinks that she could be the girl he's looking for. But even before that, the way she just gets into the castle, and I'm just like, wow, this is a nice castle. They are nice people. Taking in people like, wow, maybe this regiment does need to like rule because what? Um, but I thought that woman had like a more accurate accent than Sebastian did. Sebastian sounded like kind of neutral. Um, which maybe that's what they were going for. I feel like I heard rumors that Sebastian is not actually supposed to be Jamaican. I don't know, but you know, it was neutral. Um, you know, I said in the last video because people be like, "Oh, people shouldn't do fake accents or fake Jamaican accents." I don't believe in that. I believe actors are actors and they should be able to do accents if they are good at accents. Um, and I don't know if this one was aiming to do a Jamaican accent. If they were, they failed. If they were not, then they didn't. They could have been doing something neutral. Because I remember there was a time too where some people tried to criticize the Black Panther cast for the same thing, but the Black Panther cast has already said that Wakanda is not a real place and that it's a combination of accents that they're doing, which means they're doing everything but nothing. It's a native accent. So I think just like keeping in mind when it's made up and when it's supposed to be accurate would be helpful. And I do think that is also the responsibility of the filmmakers a little bit to be upfront about that. I feel like they were, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. But with that being said, I thought Sebastian was great. I thought the acting choices were great. Like I said, after like I first heard the accent, it really didn't bother me after that. Um, because I thought the acting choices were great. So I think David, he's an actor, and he did that part really well. And I thought he was so fun. Also, too, the the live action version of the crab looks so scary in like pictures. It's not that scary, like on the movie. It's not that scary at all. Like, it's so easy to watch. I thought Scuttle was fun, like supposed to be like this kind of bird brained bird. I thought Aquafina did great. I can't believe I just no, but actually Aquafina is a pretty good performer. Like I don't think Aquafina is a bad performer or a bad actor. I just think she is strange. And I will leave that there. So that's a whole nother conversation about blackfishing. But I thought she did great. A lot of people are gonna say they didn't like the rap. It's not a hip hop. It's not like I'm not gonna put it on my hip hop playlist. I'm not gonna put it with my J. Cole's or my Kendrick Lamar's or anything like that. But it's a fun song for the movie. It's a lot more modern, and I think I heard somewhere that Lin-Manuel produced this. I could see his hands being in that, but it was fun. It was a fun song. I think it's called like Scuttlebutt or something. It's a fun song. It's a cute song. It's for the kids. The kids are gonna love it, and that's why I'm saying it's fun. I may listen to it. Who knows? I didn't. I hate this. The bars were barring. So for a kids rap song, bars were barring for a kids rap song. So it was. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. And they were great. They were very much so supporting characters, and they were very supportive of Ariel. Yeah, I thought they were great. King Triton. I feel like this was like Javier Bardem's like I don't want to say weakest performance of his career because Javier Bardem is not a weak performer. Um, let's say his most neutral. He was fine. He was fine. He came in. It was like he came in. He did a job, and it was fine. But I wanted. It's Javier Bardem. You want more. So I like the scene with what he does to Ariel's house. But other than that, there were no like really. He was fine. That's the best way to put it. There were no like real like standouts scenes. Ursula, both Ursulas, both Melissa McCarthy and the actress whose name I don't know right now, but hopefully I'll have it in edit, were excellent. Both of them were great. I thought she was great. I wanted to know more about why she was exiled and what she had done, and like I wanted more. um, but I thought she was great, and I thought she looked great face wise. The body, the octopus, I don't know, didn't work for me. Didn't work for me. But yeah, I thought that she was fun and she was great opposite Hallie, and yeah, I enjoyed I enjoyed it. I thought the Queen was fun. I did think it was fun, and I liked the way that they updated the story. Now, so with that being said, I did think it was cute. I will say I know some people who are like, it's 10 out of 10, no notes. It was marvelous. It was great. For me, I'll say I left feeling fine. Like I felt fine. It was nothing in particularly like wrong with it. Was nothing in particularly wrong with it. It was one of the better ones. Um, it was cute. It was cute. It was cute. But yeah, so as far as a few criticisms I had, I thought that we didn't get to see enough of the world. I wanted to see more. Like, who is King Trident presiding? Who is he the king of? Like, we didn't get to see any of that. And I will say in an animated film, it opens with that. So we really get to kind of see the world. We didn't get to see that here. And I wanted to, I think we kind of needed to. I would think that would help with the whole pressure arc as well. Um, or like just like him trying to, be in control of his daughters. So I really wanted more of that. um, what else did I want more? And that's the same thing too for Eric's kingdom. I wanted to see more. Like, you're an island kingdom. What islands do you rule over? Like, I wanted to see more of that as well. Um, Speaking of island kingdoms, I did see. Do y'all hear that? Yo, Alexa is crazy. Oh my god, that's scary. That's terrifying. That was Alexa. Sometimes she just does that in the middle of the day. It's so creepy. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Anyway, I totally forgot where I was. But I wanted to see more of like Eric's kingdom. I love like his backstory, his adoption, all that. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I did see the news, I guess, where the guy was talking about how they should have addressed slavery in the movie, and nope, nope. I don't think they should have. This is a kids movie. It's a fantasy movie. We not here for slavery. We here for mermaids and kisses and songs. If I wanted to see slavery, I would have gone and watched someone with slavery in it. This is not what that is. Um, she a mermaid fish. That's enough of a complication. We could see more of that conflict. I don't need to see slavery. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that. We don't need that in every single movie, especially like in this movie that's like an alt reality and a fantasy where mermaids exist. Let's just, hope the slavery wasn't there, especially because there was a black queen. So let's go with that. So yeah, I wanted to see more of the world. Let me go to my handy dandy list to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I already talked about the messaging and how fast, yeah, she didn't, talk to Eric. I will go a little bit more into those two things. So I thought that, yeah, I wanted her to talk to Eric just a little bit more. We already didn't get them together long enough, and then we didn't really get them talking that much either. And so I was like, so, so at the end of the movie, when she decides, okay, so I was a little confused by this because King Triton gives her her legs. Does that mean that she can like go in between worlds? Because that's what I wanted it to be. Like, she's going out to explore, but she has the option, like, whenever she's on land, she'll be on land. Whenever she's in the water, she'll be in the water. That's what I was like hoping for. Like, you know, with this whole thing, it's like, well, whenever she's in the water, she'll have her tail or her fin, right? Or both. But whenever she's on land, she'll have her legs. That's what I was like hoping for. But it's never really explained if that's the case. And I think I heard in a movie that she just like gains her legs. So I was like, wait, so can she not go back and forth? Like, you're just gonna leave your family permanently for this dude you know in 3 days? What? And that is what we are teaching the children? No, I don't like that. So I think if you're gonna update it, like fully update it, and I think that could have been really easy. It's just like a little line of like, you can come back anytime. I've made it where like if you're in the water, you can swim. If you're above land, you can walk. Like a really simple line, just because I was just left a little bit confused on whether or not that was the case. And yeah, I mean, she married a man she knew for 3 days. Look, stranger things have happened in real life. People do stuff like that. I mean, I think the least amount of time I've heard is 2 or 3 weeks. You know, and there are some couples who are like still married after that. Shout out to DeWanda Wise and her husband, who is a lovely actor, and I cannot think of his name right now. So it does work for some people, but then it doesn't. So, uh, just you know, just you know, 3 days is very short, especially when they didn't actually talk that much. Because Ariel is chatty. She has a big personality. She's not quiet. So that's a big change, especially if you're used to being around her when she's quiet. Anyway, okay. So it was fun and it was cute. And, our mermaid is black. There's so many different mermaids, though, who are other races. You could watch an old animated film if you want to see someone white. You could watch Broadway to see a plethora of other races, So if you want to be mad, you could just be mad in the corner. Hallie was great. She is a princess. She has the voice of a princess, the voice of a fucking angel. The voice of an angel. um, of a friggin' angel. I don't know if I can. Halle Bailey has the voice of an angel. What was that noise? Halle Bailey has the voice of an angel. So anyway, yeah, and my favorite characters, I think, were Ariel, Prince Eric, and Sebastian. Actually, yeah, Ariel, Prince Eric, and Sebastian for sure. And I think Scuttle and Ursula would come after that. But yeah, I thought it was fun, and I thought it was cute. Yeah. So those are my top three favorite characters: Ariel, Prince Eric, Sebastian, honorable mention, Scuttle, and Ursula. And yeah, I had a good time. Go see it. I saw some of the numbers with domestically versus overseas. Plenty of black movies have done well overseas, so I'm not gonna say, oh, this isn't doing as well overseas because it's black. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think there are a little bit more complications than the fact that she is black. I think it has to do with the fact that she's a black princess. I think a lot of people don't see black women as soft and vulnerable. They like to see us as warriors, like Black Panther or Woman King or something like that. Um, and yeah, I think it's just more complicated between the review bombs. Also, it's a kids movie, but it's also what people would call a girls movie. So I think there's a lot of reasons for why it could be lagging a little bit overseas. I also don't know what the marketing was like overseas. I know what it was like over here. It was crazy. But I do know sometimes they don't market our stuff overseas. But they're doing a lot of comparisons to Aladdin, and I don't think that's fair. I don't like what that actor said either. But, you know, I think Aladdin did well because that character's race is from the continent of Asia, I believe. Um, and so, of course, it's gonna do well in Asia. So I think that it's just a little bit more complicated than that. And I don't think it has to do necessarily just with it being black led. I do think that plays a factor, but not necessarily in the ways people think. Um, so yeah, just I want to do like a little bit more looking into that. But yeah, I know that that was a thing. All right, y'all. So I did actually end up looking more into this, and I was going to either write about it, you know how I leave my little comments on the video, or I was going to do a separate video about this, and I honestly may still do a separate video about this. But I ended up reading. I think it was a Deadline article late last night, early this morning, um, that detailed some of the news that's been coming out. Like, it's literally been on the news, like, um, how people feel about there being a black Ariel in both China and South Korea. South Korea is disappointing me, especially because I'm supposed to be visiting soon. We will see about that. But um, this need for people of color to, or rather, should I say, this loyalty that people of color have to whiteness is super problematic. Because there being a black mermaid is inoffensive. Like, it's a fantastical character. And the reason why people have switched, I also saw what Miss Rodriguez said, but I've never been a big fan of Michelle Rodriguez, so that's a different story. But anyway, um, these, you know, fantastical characters historically have been mostly white, and also historically people don't tend to buy black fantasy or black comics, um, although they exist and there's a lot of great ones. So the ones that are more prevalent in our society tended to be mostly white. So when we do these live action adaptations and we change a couple people to people of color, like, it's not gonna kill anyone. Like, she hasn't done anything to anyone, you know. So ooh, it really, like, what is the reason? I could go on a whole rant about this, but what, like, really is the reason? Like, it does not make any sense for people to be this up in arms about a mermaid. It literally does not make any sense. It's silly, it's childish, it's racist, it's so many things, and uh your need to hold on to this desire to be close to or in proximity of whiteness because you think maybe that'll help you benefit from white supremacy is also silly. Like, for especially in China, because it's like, bro, it's 1 billion of y'all. Like, what do you need whiteness for? So it's very silly to me. And it's easy to tell, like, more progressive Asian friends, hey, talk to your friends, talk to your family. But there's like a lot of Asian people, so, and they can only do so much as well. But I do hope that you guys are talking to your friends and are talking to your family and being like, yo, this is wild that you guys think this way, and this is not how you can be a better ally. And I think that is something that we already do talk to people about in the Black community and colorism in our community as well. But it's just like silly what I've been reading and what I've read in terms of like how the racist backlash has actively affected the movie. And of course, everything hits women harder, especially, like I said earlier, like, this is a role that requires a certain level of softness, and a lot of people don't see Black women as soft. I mean, you can literally go online. I wouldn't put myself through this if I were you, but if you want to go online, you can see YouTube videos where people ask foreigners if they date Black girls. The things that they say are so ridiculous. I literally saw someone say, "Oh, I don't want to argue every day," as if being with a Black woman means you're going to be arguing every day. And it's kind of laughable because it just shows like people's stupidity and like, okay, you're just an utterly stupid person, but at the same time it does have like very real life effects. It leads to more abuse, it leads to our entertainment being devalued, it leads to a lot of things that are very real. And so there has to be some kind of recourse for it. And I think this is like a much, deeper conversation, obviously, but it was just something I was furious when I was reading, like, this backlash on social media is making it into people's mainstream news. And I just think that's so silly. I think it's so silly. She is a mermaid. And she's a capable one and a beautiful one, and she was the best person for the part, which the director has said a million times. So, realistic. I'm gonna do my nails, I promise. But yeah. So I just anyway. That's more reason to see the movie, even if it's not your favorite. Because numbers do affect future projects and future opportunities for people. And unfortunately, it determines whether or not people are going to continue to take risk. So if you can see the movie, even see it twice. And again, like I said, tell your international friends to see it, because I do think that backlash can lead to a reduction in marketing and a blockage of said marketing in certain places. And I still can't believe that people are so bigoted that they judge people based on the skin they're born in. Like, I still can't believe that's a thing that people do. It's just one of the dumbest concepts I've ever heard of in my life. I think it's genuinely one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of in my life. Like, how can you judge a human being based on the color they were born with? It's it is genuinely dumb. Like, there's no other way to describe it other than you. If you think that way, I think you may be one of the dumbest people on earth. So yes, that means that a lot of people on earth are dumb. But I just think it's such a like horrible concept, and it's just a way for people to keep other people down, because people want to feel like they have a sense of power in a world where power gets you more, and power allows you to have power, have, dominance over others. Sorry, my like vocabulary right now isn't super extensive because my brain is just going a million miles a minute. And we live in a world that's, is capitalistic, and people are born into certain circumstances that make it really difficult for them. So they want to find someone else who is worse off than them, or they just want to feel like some sense of, again, like, I have something going for me. And so it's easy to pick on people with darker skin. And it's ridiculous. And I'm sick of it. And I think that maybe we should get to the actual problems, which are the people in power, which are capitalism, which are the fact that you were born in poverty at all, when that shouldn't be the case, when we were born on a planet that has all of our resources. Let's get to the actual problems. But anyway, this is about the Little Mermaid. So make sure that you guys go see it. I'm sorry, I'm just furious. Halle Bailey is amazing. She's an amazing singer. Her and her sister have a group called Chloe Times Halle. Make sure that you guys check it out as well. They have great music. I really love their last album. It was one of the best albums of 2020. It's called The Ungodly Hour. And also too, uh, if you want to check out my, I was like, should I do it right here? But if you want to check out my production company page, it's Melody Magic Productions on YouTube. You can go watch my web series, Sex, Laws, and Kidnappings. So yeah, go see The Little Mermaid. Have a great time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.